Jets defense was excellent in their week 4 win against the Titans, and in my opinion, the best player on the field was linebacker CJ Mosley. Mosley finished the game with 13 total tackles and a sack. It was his third straight game over double-digit tackles, and those tackles weren't just cleanup duty either. He made 5 tackles on Derrick Henry for 3 or fewer yards gained. We're going to go through 6 clips today, 4 in the run game, 2 in the pass game, and explain how Mosley was so dominant, not only with his brawn, but with his brains as well. We'll start right off here with a play in the run game. It is in the first quarter, 1st and 10 at the Tennessee 16. The Titans are in 11 personnel, and they are going to be running an outside zone to the weak side. So we'll move the play along here, and we'll see we have a tight end that starts out wide. He's going to motion in line here, right there. And once he motions in line, CJ Mosley is going to be playing will linebacker. He does a great job reading the defense, reading the offense, knows what play is coming, and gets a jump on the play before it happens. Takes a little bit of a cheat step to the weak side. Now, normally, a lot of times you would see runs go to the strong side towards the tight end. That's where the strength of the formation is. But CJ Mosley is very good in his tape study, recognizes what's coming, and once he sees the motion, takes those 2 little cheat steps, gets a little bit further outside. So we'll see as the play moves along here. The Titans are going to be running outside zone to the weak side. CJ Mosley is going to meet the right guard here, get off the block, make a tackle on Derrick Henry. Henry falls forward for a couple, but CJ Mosley was able to meet him at the line of scrimmage, bring him down for basically no gain. A 3-yard tackle on, or 3 or 2-yard tackle on first down is a great play by the defense, sets up 2nd and long. That's getting ahead of the chains as a defense, and that's what you want to see. So again, we'll see. Mosley takes his cheat steps. Back up here. Tight end comes across, and Mosley takes 2 little steps, get a little closer. And at the snap, immediately comes downhill. There's no hesitation, isn't worried about play action, is able to beat the guard to the spot, get off the block, make a tackle on Henry before Foley and the rest of the guys clean it up. Great play by CJ Mosley. Great read. Know the play is coming before it happens. Gets to the spot before the blocker can get to him. Stops Derrick Henry in his tracks. This is an excellent play by CJ Mosley. Couldn't ask for more. All right, next play, another play in the run game here. It is 1st and 10 at the Tennessee 25. There's about 4 minutes left in the second quarter. And start of the drive, the Titans are in 13 personnel, which means 1 running back and 3 tight ends. However, one of the tight ends is actually going to be a 6th offensive lineman. So we'll count here. Here's the center. We have left guard here, left tackle, and a tight end on the line to the left. And then to the right, we have right guard, left tackle, or right tackle, 6th offensive lineman, and then the 2nd tight end here. So you can call it 12 personnel. I'm going to call it 13, and with a 6th offensive lineman subbed in as a tight end. This is a very clearly run-heavy formation. CJ Mosley is obviously going to key on that. We'll move the play along here. He's lined up at middle linebacker. He's going to be head up over the center. And again, Mosley is able to cheat weak side, right there, and gets his 2 steps right as the play is coming, and reads that this is going to be a weak side toss, zone toss to Derrick Henry, makes the play to the outside, again, beats the blockers with his speed, and is able to track Henry down for a 3-yard gain. And we'll see from the end zone angle again that this is just instincts and athleticism. And when you're an all-pro like CJ Mosley and you're good in your tape study and you can read plays before they happen, it allows you to get to the ball faster. You can act faster than you are. And CJ Mosley is a really good athlete. Him slimming down in this defense, it's obvious how much of an impact that had on him. But even still, his athleticism only gets better with his brain. And I think that's the best part about CJ Mosley in all phases, is his brain allows him to make plays and his body can take him there so fast that he's just a missile out there. And when you see plays like this, where you can come in the run game, get a read on what's going to happen, beat the blocking, make a tackle, that's an absolute great play. Okay, first play in the pass game here. This is going to be Mosley's sack on Tannehill. This was in the first quarter on 1st and 10. The Titans are in Jets territory at the 46, and they are going to be running a play action from 21 personnel. We got 1 tight end, 2 backs in the backfield. Again, another run-heavy set, but they're running play action to throw the defense off. They're actually only going to have 2 receivers out in the route. It's just going to be the outside receivers going downfield. Everybody else is going to be staying in to block. So you would think that the protection would be able to hold up with 7 in protection, 2 in the route, but CJ Mosley is going to do a good job of making that protection null and void. We'll see what happens as the play moves along. Motion from the tight end comes across. The Jets are in a cover 1 man coverage defense. We have the tight end get followed by the safety here in coverage. Single high, man coverage on the corners on the outside. CJ Mosley has Derrick Henry in man coverage. If he were to go out into a route, this is a man coverage, like I said. So CJ Mosley is responsible for Derrick Henry, and that's important. So we'll see as the play moves along. play action, and Henry is not having the ball. He is going in to try and block. Now, normally Henry's path was to the right B gap, and that's where CJ Mosley is heading over. But since the tight end on the other side was staying in to block, and he was covered with a linebacker in coverage, this safety, Jared Wilson, would have been unblocked off the edge if the tight end is picking up the defensive end. So Derrick Henry's eyes immediately go to the left. He's thinking that he's going to have to come out of this play action and slide down to meet Wilson in protection. And once that happens, it's going to open the gap for Mosley. Mosley is really, really smart here, recognizes that Henry is going into block and recognizing that he's leaving this gap untouched. And as soon as he sees Henry start to move this way, Mosley is going to do what's called a green dog blitz. Now, green dog blitz is when you have a responsibility in man coverage, usually from a linebacker. And once the running back stays in to block, you turn into a blitzer. You no longer have a coverage responsibility. So rather than standing in no man's land, you go and try and get to the quarterback. CJ Mosley is going to do exactly that here. We'll back the play up slightly. Again, we'll watch Mosley off the play action. He's going to recognize Henry stay into block, and there he triggers. As soon as Henry starts to move to the left and pick up potentially Jared Wilson off the edge, if he were to come, CJ Mosley starts firing. He's going to get into this gap and get a sack on Tannehill before Henry can even see what's going on. On top of that, you have a great job by John Franklin Myers and Foley Fatukasi creating pressure and keeping Tannehill in the pocket. And he's going to let CJ Mosley come in unclean and just decleat Tannehill with a shot. We'll see again from the end zone angle. As soon as CJ gets a read that Henry is going to the left in his protection, right there, triggers, nowhere to go, slams Tannehill for a sack on first down. Great play by CJ Mosley, great recognition, instincts, athleticism, all of it. This is, like I said before, having your brain and having your knowledge allow you to make plays faster than other people normally would. CJ Mosley's recognition was allowing him to get in the gap sooner, was able to get there before Henry could recover, and it led to a huge sack on first down. Excellent play by CJ Mosley. All right, back to the run game here, and we have an 11 personnel set from the Titans with a bunch set from the receivers. They are going to be running an inside zone to the bunch set. We're going to design a cutback to head through the bunch set. CJ Mosley is Mike linebacker here, and he is going to key this run and do a really good job of not only keying it for himself to make the play, but helping his teammates to stay in good position and having everybody play off each other. So move the play along here, and we'll see CJ Mosley is going to, again, be able to ID the coverage or ID the run play coming, and he starts signaling to Quincy Williams right there to stay in your gap, that if they try and press this front side or backside, Quincy Williams needs to be able to stop that lane. CJ Mosley knows that the actual lane is going to be through the left C gap here, and he's going to stay home in this gap and just wait for Derrick Henry to hit it. We'll back it up again so we can see, gives a little nod to Quincy before the snap to key, stay in your gap, stay backside, I'll handle on the front side. And then as the play moves along, again, stays square, sees the lane coming, sees where it's developing, has Quincy on the back end to distract the blocker, gives one lane for Derrick Henry to run through, and CJ Mosley knows where it is, comes downhill, waits, sticks Henry in the hole, stops him for a 3-yard gain. I'm going to keep saying it. It's just instincts, athleticism, and both of those talents playing off each other. It's just an excellent player who's an excellent athlete as well as an excellent technician and a very, very smart football IQ. It all comes together in one package with CJ Mosley. You see it on play after play where he just knows what's coming before the snap, puts himself in great position, and then executes post-snap and makes the play. It's textbook. You couldn't ask for better linebacker play in the run game than being able to ID where the cutback lanes are going to be, get your guys in good position, and go make the play yourself when your number is called upon. Couldn't be happier with CJ Mosley. Last play in the run game, and this is going to be an example of CJ Mosley being able to come downhill and make plays and not be afraid and not lose any of his power, despite the fact that he lost weight and got slimmer to gain speed in this defense. He can still come downhill just like he used to in Baltimore and lay the wood. So we'll see what we got going on here. It's a 22 personnel set from the Titans. They are going to be running an outside zone lead with the fullback here working as a lead blocker to the right side. CJ Mosley is the inside linebacker, and just like before, he's going to read the play before it happens, takes 2 little cheat steps to the outside, and gets himself into a better position before the play starts. That is what instincts and football IQ does. It gets you into the best position that you need to be in faster than you would without it. Having the brain and the intelligence to put yourself in good positions before the ball is snapped is only going to help you out after the ball is snapped. And that's again exactly what happens here. See, as the play moves along, CJ Mosley is going to continue his read on the play, triggers downhill at the snap, isn't worried about play action, isn't worried about any sort of a boot or anything like that. He knows that this is going to just be an outside zone. Titans aren't hiding anything. He knows where it's going, beats the right tackle to the ball, and sticks Derrick Henry in the hole for a 1 yard gain. Not many people in the NFL can stick Derrick Henry in the hole for a 1 yard gain. And despite the fact that CJ Mosley lost weight and got smaller to play in this defense and play faster, he can still come downhill and lay the wood. And it's really encouraging to see. Okay, the next play is going to be the last play in pass coverage, and it's going to be, in my opinion, the best play of the day by anybody on the Jets defense. And in order to explain it properly, I have to show you two plays from earlier in the game to just fully explain how great of a play it really is. So we'll start off here. These are going to both be third down conversions from the Titans to keep the chains rolling, and they're going to come on the exact same play from the exact same formation. So we have an 11 personnel bunch set from the Titans here, three receivers outside in the bunch. We have a tight end close to the line here. And the Titans are just going to run a simple slant route from the outside receiver, and they are going to convert the first down both times with this play. Now, the Jets are going to run two very similar defenses, and mainly they're going to run man coverage on third down because they like to send pressure on third down and run man coverage behind it. That's their tendency, and that's what they've done. So we have man coverage from the cornerbacks here. We have Bryce Hall is going to be blitzing off the edge, and Ashton Davis is going to be coming down, kind of replace him as a buzz hook defender. And we got single high safety Niesman here. Like I said, man coverage on the bottom. We'll move the play along. We'll see off the snap. Titans receivers in their bunch are running their inside breaking routes. We have a slot fade from the slot and two inside routes from the receivers on the interior of the bunch and the exterior of the bunch. And Brandon Eccles gets beat on this slant route, and it's wide open for a first down. Watch at full speed. Eccles playing from the outside. When you are playing man coverage from the outside, it is very difficult to defend inside breaking routes because, especially against bunch sets, you have all of this traffic from the inside receivers. They're going to be in your way, and that makes it harder. You kind of have to play more to the outside because you can't cheat inside as easily as you would hope to. And that's what happens to Eccles here. He's playing with outside. He gets beat off the line and press, and it leads to an easy conversion for a first down. The Jets defense had problems with this. This was the first time it happened earlier in the game, and I believe it was on the eventual touchdown drive from the Titans, and it gave them issues. This is a great answer to the Jets defense on third down is to get into a play that's going to free up people over the middle. You're going to have man coverage beaters to the outside, enough protection to give Tannehill time to throw. And there's the passing window, and it's a first down. This play is going to go on to be the thorn in the side of the defense for most of the rest of the day. Here we are again. It's now the beginning of the third quarter. We got a 3rd and 5 from the Titans. And again, it's the exact same formation. We got three receivers bunched up here, tight end close to the line. And the Jets, again, are going to be running a similar defense where they're going to be sending pressure with CJ Mosley and Javelin Guidry blitzing. And you're going to have man coverage from the corners and a single high safety up top. Very, very similar defense, if not the exact same defense, just slightly changed. It's a blitz underneath with single high man coverage behind it. The exact intricacies might be slightly different, but the core principle of the defense is the same, and the answer to beat it is the exact same. So we'll see here. The Titans are going to be running again. Slant from the outside bunch. Bryce Hall is going to be covering Josh Reynolds, the outside receiver, and Bryce Hall is going to do his best to stay in phase, but you're going to have a switch release from the inside receiver here. Is going to be running a slot fade, kind of an out and up, and that is going to create space in between Reynolds and Bryce Hall, making it harder for Hall to stay in coverage and get a good jump on the play. So we'll watch this play moves along. Keep an eye on Bryce Hall at the top of the screen. He's doing what he can, getting close in position, and there's the switch release right here. We have Michael Carter trailing the inside receiver, and that creates space between Bryce Hall and Reynolds. That gives Reynolds just enough room to get inside, make the conversion, and it's a 9-yard gain on 3rd and 5. Bryce Hall did everything he could with the alignment pre-snap, playing man coverage in this particular type of defense against this particular offensive formation is really, really difficult. This is why teams run bunch sets and run slants from bunch sets against man coverage. That's a pretty common man coverage beater, especially if you're going to have teams that like sending pressure and they're not going to have any buzz defenders underneath to take away that throwing lane. It's almost always a guaranteed first down. And that's what we saw here on two opportunities from the Titans where they were able to convert third downs by having a great answer offensively and letting their formation basically win them the play before the ball was even snapped. And finally, we have the play from CJ Mosley. As we can see, it is 3rd and 6, 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, tie game. And the reason we got the broadcast angle here is because it shows more of the play, and we really need to see it in full context to understand. So before the snap, we can see the Titans are not in their same bunch set. They're actually in a 2x2, 2 receivers here and 2 receivers up to the top. But they are going to motion into this same bunch set as before. The Jets, like before, are running a man coverage defense with what appears to be pressure from the interior. They may be dropping out, but based on the fact that CJ Mosley changes this play, my guess is that this is another blitz. We have man coverage up top here as well. So we'll watch the play move along. There's the motion. And as soon as he comes across, CJ Mosley starts making changes. Soon as the receiver goes to the bunch side. He isn't even fully over there, but CJ Mosley knows what's coming. Immediately, he starts directing traffic, pointing to the rest of his defense and saying, hey, we can't be calling this blitz. We can't be in man coverage again. They're in this bunch. They're going to run a slant out of it, and it's going to be a first down again like it has been all day. So CJ Mosley doesn't let it happen. He takes the time, directs traffic, quite literally points out a brand new play to the defense. And as defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich would say in his press conference, this was not something that they had practiced. This was not a check that they had in their game plan. This is not something that they normally would have done. CJ Mosley did this all by himself, and quite literally in the 5 or 6 seconds it took him to recognize that this play was coming and change the defense. He directed everybody and told everybody their assignments, completely changed the play all by himself, and gets the Jets into a good alignment pre-snap. Then we'll see in the all-22 how it ends up playing out. But the recognition from CJ Mosley to be the only one on the field to know that this play, if it goes the way that it's going to go, is going to end up a problem. That if the Jets stay in this blitz that they're going to call, they're going to give up this third down. CJ Mosley sees that coming, doesn't let it happen, ignores what his coaching staff has directed him to do, and says, I'm an all-pro, I'm the one on the field, and I know what I need to do, and he does it. Okay, so now we're here with the all-22, and we can see it's a little bit further along. Wouldn't have been able to see the motion or CJ Mosley directing most of the traffic. That's why I wanted to include the broadcast clip. We'll see it's all-22 moves along here. Mosley gets the defense set. Jets are going to expand into, I believe, a cover 6. You're going to have 2 deep defenders to the side here, and then Bryce Hall is going to be kind of a cloud defender, and Ashton Davis is going to expand little more towards the middle of the field, not quite deep since there isn't as many receiving threats on this side. So the Jets are not going to be in man coverage. They are going to drop out of it into a zone, and that zone coverage switch is going to cause Ryan Tannehill to hitch. This play ends in a sack for Quinnen Williams, and it ends in a sack for Quinnen Williams because Tannehill does not get the ball out as fast as he wants to. We'll see as the play moves along. Titans are in their bunch. Outside receiver is starting to stem outside. Comes back inside here. And as soon as that happens, here's CJ Mosley. He's already starting to trigger. He's already coming downhill to get in the throwing lane. He knows what play is coming. He knows where the ball is supposed to go, and he's not going to let it happen. And at this exact moment where this receiver makes his break, where usually Tannehill would be starting to throw, the coverage to zone, or the switch to zone coverage has thrown him off, and it causes him to hitch at the top of his drop. We'll see. We'll back up the play slightly. Sheldon Rankins is going to get a great rush off the interior, and that's going to cause Tannehill to step up into Quinnen. But Tannehill is going to get to the top of his drop, hitch. Right here, he freezes. He should be throwing this ball. Quite honestly, it is going to be open, and it could be a completion, but CJ Mosley is coming downhill at full speed, and he's going to meet this receiver head on right before the first down marker and stop him short, maybe even knock the ball out. Tannehill knows that this is going to be an issue. He waits. He is confused. He doesn't know what he is going to do. And that allows Sheldon Rankins to get home and get pressure, lead Tannehill right up into Quinnen, and that's going to be a sack. This play would not have happened without CJ Mosley making his adjustment. And you can see right here, as soon as the play is over, we'll watch Quincy Williams. He goes pointing at CJ Mosley, and I bet he's sitting there saying, that one's on you right there. He's saying, that's on you. looking for CJ. You made that call. You made that adjustment. He knows that that play would not have happened without CJ Mosley. And this was an absolutely excellent play from the leader of your defense. This is why CJ Mosley makes as much money as he does. This is why he is an all-pro player. This is why he's one of the best linebackers in the NFL. Because for as athletic as he is and as talented as he is, he's just as smart. He's just as intelligent. And those two attributes work in tandem together to form an absolutely terrific linebacker. CJ Mosley is playing some excellent football right now. I'm really excited to see how this continues throughout the season. I think the Jets might have their first all-pro in a very, very long time.